Well, we've made the bitter dark chocolate mud cake, the bitter dark chocolate cake ganache, and the cocoa powder mirror glaze, and now it's time to construct it all with George. And if you see me spitting, it's because the fluff goes into your mouth, and Asta did warn me. So if you feel anything in your mouth, it's fluff.
I'm pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good. No fluff at...
at this stage.
I
should stand back because
okay.
I don't want on the cake.
Yes, so what I'm going to do is basically... so we've done the cake now, it's been cool. I actually would advise you to do the cake the day before because it's a lot easier to handle rather than if you do it the same day.
Okay.
Then you slice through it. I sliced it in 3 spots, so basically in the middle and then through the top, just get rid of basically the top. And sometimes I actually use that as a nice way of tasting the cake if it's the right...
Oh, and then you have a really smooth top.
And you've got a nice, easy to fix basically top.
And it doesn't matter that it all falls to pieces?
That doesn't, because you're not going to use that. So that's basically, you know, get rid of it. You can eat it if you want to taste the cake. That's for me to taste it. And then this is the part that I want to use and basically dress up with my ganache. And that's the ganache that I've been fixing previously. So that's basically, I split it, put a bit more cream in it. Now it's set. I hopped it to actually do that in the fridge. So you can put this ganache into a fridge to speed it up a little bit. And if you want to, this is a very rich cake. So if you like, you can put more filling into it. It doesn't necessarily have to be ganache, could be other things. But
could you put cream?
You could put could put cream, but it's quite soft because it's so dense and heavy. It will probably squash it all out. But you need something quite dense. But what you could do, you could use a different type of ganache. It could be white chocolate, and then you could put some fruit or nuts in there, just sprinkle it over the top, and just basically create a sandwich.
You could what is it? The Black Forest, is that with cherries?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, you could use some cherries in there. What I've got also underneath is, I'm not going to turn it because you do that once you bake it. I've got one of these underneath. You probably don't want to buy one of them, but you can cut out a bit of a cardboard, which gives you a nice sturdy base, so you can handle the cake much easier as well. Okay. And you want another one so you can handle this one so it doesn't split on you just like that one, because it is quite a, you know, so you just... Soft, so it's easier to... So I've now got it sliced, and all I'm going to do is just put a little bit more in the middle. Just like making a, you know, it's up to you how much you want to put in. And you're just going to spread it around. I've eaten so many of your chocolates today, I feel sick. Yeah, they are quite rich because I have used the 70% chocolate. So that kind of shows you that it's, if you're using a darker chocolate, that less of the chocolates you're probably going to eat anyway. Some have even gone up to the control room, which is where our show is sort of broadcast out of, and they are acknowledging that they are delicious. I'll tell you what my favourite one, there's the little box there, my favourite one is it the maple? Yeah, the maple, because, yeah, it is very nice. And it definitely goes well with coffee and tea. I look like a Yeti. I just saw this jacket. But no, the maple is delicious. It goes well with tea. Yes. Sorry, so there... So I put the ganache, spread it just nice and even. If you want to have a lot in the middle, you just put a lot in the middle. If you want to have least in the middle, it's up to you. Put more on the top. Yep. Oh, no, you can't. We're going to put more on top, but I just lifted it off, placed it on top, and now just make sure it's nice aligned with the cake, so it's nice and smooth. And now I'm going to use more. And what I'm using more ganache now, I call it kind of sealing of the cake, because all cakes are a little bit crumbly. So let's say, for example, this ganache wasn't dark chocolate, it was white chocolate. Some of those dark crumbs will come through it, and the cake would not look very nice and finished. So I actually seal the cake by putting a little bit of this and actually kind of make it just smudged in this. It doesn't need to be much, because then once it's done, we're going to put more of the glaze over the top, which is just going to finish it perfect. Right, and now we're going to do the sides as well. Oh, stop it. I wish we could get a shot of Brendan, because he's acting like a little schoolboy. He's pretty excited, isn't he? It's good. It's always good if someone gets excited about chocolate. Yes. So you see, I've done the sides, I've done a little bit on the top, and now you see I've got the excess. So basically what you need to do is just to run from the outside to the middle. So you want it smooth? And that will just smooth it out. Okay. And so, what are these called, palette knives or something? Palette knives, yeah. It's just it's not sharp, it's just a blunt knife, and it's quite a good, because it gives you nice... So if you have a mistake, you just touch it up like that, and you run the palette knife again this way, and again run it inwards. So you just finish the cake really nicely. There's a little bit there. Oh, okay. It's good. Perfection's good. I'm not a perfectionist at all, actually, as everyone will attest to. But you don't have to worry about it this stage too much. It's all about just sealing. It's all about just sealing the cake from the crumbs, right? So because we're going to put the glaze, all these little imperfections are going to be covered anyway with this, like a liquid glazy. It even looks nice like that. Yeah. But it's going to look even better, isn't it? It does. It will look like honestly, it's a mirror. It is a very glassy looking. So what I'm going to do now, the glaze that we made earlier, we're going to pour it over. But because of time restrictions. I would normally put this in a freezer for at least half an hour.
Freezer?
Yeah, freezer or fridge. Fridge an hour, freezer and a half an hour. So it gives this nice and really firm. So if I pour the warm glaze over the top, it's not going to melt into this ganache, which might happen today, but let's just try it.
It's only live telly. It's only the nation watching you.
So I'm just going to check if this is all nice and straight. Yep, so we've got the cake pretty good.
Yep.
And what I've got here, I've done this for the basically glazing. So because the cake's quite heavy, if you want to hold it, it's quite heavy, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
It's very dense.
Hockey puck.
So what we need to do, you can place it on there, and what it will do, it's okay. I've got it.
Yeah,
Good. What it will do is, if we're going to pour it, it's just going to run on a plate so we can recycle, basically, the glaze, and then not wasting anything. And also, it's then later on easier to lift it off, rather than if you had it on a table, probably stuck. So it's easier to lift it away from the glazed.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to check my glaze, which I've warmed up in the microwave.
So that's the one we made earlier with the gelatine,
That's the one we made, yeah. So it's got a bit of a gelatine, cocoa powder, and sugar, a bit of a cream. You can also replace it with soy milk, so you make it basically dairy-free.
Oh.
So this cake, actually, everything can be replaced with things so you can make it dairy.
What would you replace the butter with?
The butter, you replace it with, that's just the margarine.
Okay.
Which is always...
Wouldn't be as delicious, though, would it?
Yeah, but it's, you know, yeah, it's just... But you can if you want to. This is obviously will have a lot better flavour. So all I needed to do is just to melt this out. I think it just needs a few more seconds in a microwave.
Okay, we can do that.
Yep.
And do you ever get sick of chocolate?
Me personally, if it doesn't work, that's when I get sick of it. But no, I like chocolate. I really do like chocolate. And, you know, I eat it every day, not just because I have to taste it, so I know it's well done. But I do like chocolate. It's like... It was quite funny. One Christmas we were at home and I was away just for 2 days and I had to go and get myself some chocolates from work because, yeah...
You missed it that much?
Yeah, kind of craved...
They say that, like a set, you know, for example, one of those truffles, they're not that bad for you, are they? Because the higher the cocoa content, the better for your bod?
It is, and as well as you probably will eat a little bit less because they're so rich in flavour, you're probably going to eat way less than...
All right, let's get on with it.
All right, so basically... Stir this through a little bit. Let's hope it's not too hot. So all you want is just until it's melted. You don't want to stir it too much or excessively because you will add bubbles to it. And this just goes on top. I think it is a little bit too warm. So you want to put a little bit more than you actually need.
Yeah, and then what's going to happen? It's going to dribble over the sides.
And you want to have your palette knife cleaned.
Oh, stop it.
And just push it to the sides so it just runs over the edges.
All right, we'll let you keep doing that while we tell everyone...
Brilliant.
...what is on the show tomorrow. Oh, my goodness. Now, if you want to go to the New Zealand Chocolate Festival, you can see our website for all the details. That looks amazing. Now, speaking of food, tomorrow, Paul Mercurio, calm down, joins us. He's cooking beer-battered Sichuan fish bites. Look, and he's decorating it too with those lovely truffles.
Plus, Adam Mueller's in and he's making smoked fish and spring onion pies and baked winter fruits with vanilla and lemon mascarpone and apple chips. Also tomorrow, Lynn Webster shows you how to live on $100 a week.
Oh, well, I bet that cost $100. Laugh along with the Laughing Samoans, improve your relationship with Dr. Demartini and ease into the weekend with the music of The Utes. We'll see you tomorrow. Ka kite a pōpō.
Ka kite.
That looks